This is Drop Tent Media Network.
We're dating. What's up?
We're dating.
Guys. We're dating.
Welcome back to We're Dating, a podcast about relationships, love, sex, etc.
Yeah, everything you want.
I am Alejandro Morales.
I'm Rachel Peters.
And today we have with us our good friend and awful wrestling extraordinaire celebrity referee. No, not referee.
Announcer.
Commentator, yeah.
A commentator. Michael Kelly, everybody. Michael Kelly. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the pod.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
So today we're talking about shacking up, living together romantically or platonically, and trying to date and or fuck.
Do you want to share why this is our theme today?
Yes, because Michael Kelly and I used to be roommates. We lived together for 3 years in Fishtown.
Platonic life partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wait, okay, so you guys lived together.
Yes.
For 3 years.
Uh-huh.
So was there a leaking of sounds?
We weren't. No. First of all, like the setup of the house
also,
itself.
I'm sorry for using the phrase leaking of sound.
Yeah, I was like, well, nothing leaking. I was like, no Olestra in our household for any leakage of any kind.
It didn't exist. Did Olestra exist then?
I think it was before our time.
Oh.
We're so old.
I'm conflating it with
before our time. I was like, oh,
I'm conflating it with Ozempic.
Oh yeah.
The new
anal leakage.
Yeah, the new
tool.
Yeah.
Well,
anal greaser.
The anal grease.
Weight loss. No, it's a diabetes medication.
It was not
okay.
It was a gay house. We lived in a gay household, but it was not like a hot and heavy coming and going.
How gay was the house?
I mean, we were all gay.
It was so gay.
it was so gay.
Wait, what's that bit that you used to do? Or do you still do it?
Oh, about like it was with the pine. I poked fun of Michael because he had like a decorative bowl of pine cones.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. Wait, no, that is
I had two decorative bowls of pine cones. I have.
Anyway, we stuck them all up our asses.
And that's how babies are made. But no, the other one about if those walls could talk. They
quote RuPaul's Drag Race. That's all we did was
that's how gay it was.
Wait, okay, so it was more than just the two of you.
At times we had sort of like an unofficial, an official unofficial roommate. So an official roommate on the books, but he was never at the house.
Enigmatic roommate in a relationship stayed at the partner's house all the time, and essentially just supplemented Alejandro and I to share a 1,200 square foot house
and smoke
in
all
Fishtown.
the weed in the world.
Smoke all the weed in the world.
Oh, we smoked some.
Lord, no, we tried.
It was truly, but it was not a hookup. It was not like a hookup house.
No.
Definitely not like that.
That's a shame.
No, I think we took care of all of our business. I think outside of the house for the most part.
Intentionally, unintentionally.
I think intentional is part of it. You know, like when you have roommates. Or a certain, if you have a certain relationship, maybe certain people like don't care who they bring home with roommates, but like me with all my roommates, I have not been inclined to like have some random grinder guy over when everybody's home. That's definitely not like.
It's the one thing I really like about living on my own. Well, because there was one point that I lived with an ex. And it was after we broke up, and like I remember his girlfriend who had threatened to push me down the stairs once.
Oh.
She was there because they had hooked up after they'd been broken up for like months, and it was such a beautiful
at your house.
Yes, it was an amazing redistribution of power. It was because I like came out, I saw her, and I was like, "Oh, hello," and she was like, "Hi," and I was like, and then I went to work. But she's fine. She was chill. She threatened to push me down the stairs once, and then 2 days later, she hit me up, and she was just like, "Hey, I know you're gonna be around, so do you want to get a drink?" And I was like,
"Oh."
And I was like, yeah, okay, because I'm no coward.
There you go.
Yeah, but I got a drink with her for like 2 hours, and she was like, "Do you want to go to the bar?" And I was like, "No, we did it. Mission accomplished. We don't want to kill each other.
Let's not push it."
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, so I didn't bring a whole lot of guys back to the Fishtown, and I don't think, unless Michael was very swift about it, very slick. I'm not sure that Michael brought home a lot of guys.
I'm not gonna say a lot. I mean, we were in our mid-30s at that point. Yeah, so I feel like that sometimes, like, I think in my 20s is when I like to guest star at other people's houses. I hated bringing them home. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the walk-in. I have like a walk-on
Was
arc
that like
per episode sort of. I was like the Jennifer Beals of the early aughts.
you had like a little bit of like
Of
a
gay
hoe
sex.
phase?
A little bit would be a morbid understatement. I was in my mid-20s living in New York City, and I was a size 28. So
Oh, I don't know what that means in inches.
Skinny.
It's just okay. Like, so would you say that's like a 4 or like a 6?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
like the ideal size.
yeah. Been my
28
twink,
waist,
living
that's
my
a
full twink
I want to see
fantasy.
pictures. I want to see so badly.
Oh, they're out there. I think. Well, I would definitely say because I was working for a hair care line at the time, so I got to go to a lot of fun, fancy parties, and
Ooh.
it was a good time. Yeah, I worked for a hair care line called Ted Gibson Beauty, and he was a celebrity hairstylist, and then he also did all the hair for The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh.
So by
okay,
virtue of that,
right.
we would get invited to a lot of red carpet things, and they never went. So we would all go because I was just like, open bar, I'm there. It's New York City, and I'm 26.
Was that a very like hookup-y atmosphere?
Oh yeah, again, that would be a morbid understatement. I went to a bar called The Cock 3 nights a week.
It's called the cock.
The Cock, and it was and that was you could just hook up there. You didn't have to go to anyone's house.
I respect.
Like that was a big like you're gonna have sex in that. Like I've watched so many people get blown while I'm trying to order a drink. It wouldn't even faze me now. I think that bar also, and they might still do this. It's been a long time, but they would at least 2 or 3 times a night play tequila. The DJ would play tequila, and then the Go-Go Boys would get up and then pour tequila into everyone's mouths.
The only time I've ever had alcohol poured into my mouth was when I was in Montreal, and it was sour pucker.
Oh,
It was not real
oh, visceral
alcohol.
reaction. That made my colon audibly snap shut.
The only time that happened to me was when I was 15 years old with my mom in Cancun at a Senior Frogs. I was at a Senior Frogs underage, and there were like these like go-go girls.
Oh,
And they had
trying
no children.
desperately,
They had-
not reading the room.
And I was there in my like silver chair, oversized T-shirt, and my like frosted tips. And the go-go girls would like walk around like with the like a referee whistle, and they had like a little tray of little test tubes, and they would like feed you like super sweet shots out of a test tube.
And how many of those did you have?
I mean, I had like 2 or 3, I think, that
Okay.
night at Senior Frogs. They were not very strong.
No, right.
But I was drinking at 15, so I had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Except that I met a girl, and then I walked her back to her hotel, and then
Braided each other's hair.
I was like, that was probably like the moment I should have known then that I was just all the way gay, because like there was nothing that would have been hotter for a young heterosexual or even bisexual teen than like, oh, you're in Cancun, you met this teenage girl, you've been doing
Shots all night.
Yeah.
Was she
Yeah.
very pretty too?
She was cute. She was cute for sure. I should have, but nothing terrified me more than the idea that she might want a kiss or ...
You
so I
know-
kind of like, I ran. I walked her back to a hotel and
So you
like,
shook her
ran
hand?
away.
We did a jump in the air high 10.
Bow.
I bow, yes, the royal, very formal bow, and milady.
And a goodbye to you. I've only ever lived with comics, and like luckily, and then like I was telling Alejandro this earlier, but like it was 2 comics that were dating. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
He can guess, but yeah.
I'll ponder as you. continue
Okay,
with the
and then
story.
like we would hear them having sex loudly, but my other roommates and I would be like talking, and we would just like wonder to ourselves, like, how much of that do you think is real? How much of those sounds from her do you think is real?
You think they're like pulling a bit on you?
No.
y'all?
We just think she was faking it.
Oh shit.
Oh,
That was the
ooh,
idea.
Gosh, now
We
I
thought it
really
was
want to
like-
figure it out. Who it is.
We thought it was like 70% fake. But like I've lived in 2 comedian houses, and one was that one, and then the other I lived with like I lived with Grubar. No, but he had
Miziano
moved
and
out.
Grubar
It was
and Joey
Miziano,
Doherty?
Doherty, and Michael.
Okay.
Michael from Orleans.
Huh?
And that was fun just because
I love that guy.
yeah, Mike was lovely.
Bartender.
Yeah. And then like Miziano was at the end of his hoe phase, so like he didn't bring girls home. But like, yeah. It was
Oh my
fun.
gosh. Yeah. So wait. So those houses, those comedian houses that you lived, were like hoe houses.
I was the hoe, but yeah.
So yes,
You brought the hoe
So
to the house.
yes,
In no
I brought the
uncertain
hoe
terms.
to the house. But I've lived with 2 partners. So like I
Okay.
shacked up twice.
Yeah.
I've never lived with a partner.
Never lived with a partner?
Nope.
Never lived with a partner?
Oh no, I did.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes.
When? How did I not know this?
Well, twice. My first boyfriend out of high school, in upstate New York, we moved into a trailer. His name
Hot.
was Mark. He was a manager
Sexy.
at a Spencer's Gifts, but he
Makes me
got
wanna-
fired because he was stealing Nightmare Before Christmas plushies.
Oh, that seems like your type.
Yeah, really, my type. It's really up my alley. And we
that specific scenario, he has to be stealing them. We can't just collect them.
I'd moved in with some bellhops that I worked with at the time, and I'd wanted to break up with him. So I was on my own, living in the trailer with the bellhops, wanted to break up with my boyfriend, but then his parents kicked him out of the house. His dad was a sheriff, real piece of shit.
Ooh.
Yeah. So instead of breaking up with him, he moved in with me.
Oh.
And
You reverse broke up.
Yeah, we
like,
did.
what if we go all in?
And that was 19 years old, trying to live with a romantic partner. You're just playing house.
That
at
idea.
At best. It was not.
Because
It was
you
a
barely even know
filthy-
how to like live together in the
Exactly.
first place.
It was a filthy, shag nasty trailer.
Okay, wait, what was the second time though? Because
The second time was my ex-boyfriend Brian, lovely man. He lived in Gloucester City when we were dating, and then he and I moved in together into a row home in Fishtown. Right before we moved in, I lost my job. I got laid off. This is 2009, 2010.
yeah.
And so like right as soon as we moved in, like the problems started because he was like a very he comes from like a British background. He's
Ugh.
very work his
Horrible.
life. Work gives you meaning. He had like 2 or 3 jobs at the time, not even because he needed the money. He just liked to always be working. And then I was collecting unemployment, which is fine. I could pay my rent, but he was like, it bothered him. It bothered him that he was working so much, I was working so little, and the relationship just did not survive that.
No.
Definitely our sex life did not survive that. We
Well, because
almost,
I mean, like that would kill a sex life to like literally have only work on your fucking brain. That'd make me want to shoot myself. Yeah, I've lived with 2. Both of them only last a year, and I think this is my curse. So the first relationship I had, we lived together. We dated for a year, and then we lived together for a year, and then we broke up. But also, I cheated on him, so that makes
Nope,
sense.
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do her.
The second one, we were dating for 2 years, very happy, no fidelity or anything like that. Just like very sort of like, we had fun. We'd play games and we drink wine and blah, 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 blah. He would like stay with me all of the time in my 700 square foot studio apartment.
Wow.
All the time. And so I was just like, we should just live together. And he was like, yeah. A year later, we break up. And I think that I have a curse on me. Because I can't date somebody and then have them live with me because then we break up.
I think a lot of people have that curse.
Yeah. I want to say 70% of married people have that curse.
It's a curse going around.
Yeah.
Well, like
it's going around.
it's something that's happening. Well, because like this was the frustrating thing is that like, so like, okay, I've said this to people and I don't think he listens to the podcast, so it's fine. And if he does, he should know that he needs to put more effort into things. We dated for 3 years, right? The sex was always good. It was always, he rang the bell every time. The sex was fine, whatever. He never, like 3 times do I remember specifically. He had sex for 3 years. I remember 3 times that we fucked
Wow.
in like a distinct way.
Oh my goodness.
One time we were making ratatouille.
Oh.
And we went, we have 45 minutes with the ratatouille in the oven. What do you want to do for 45 minutes? And it was very fun. And I think it's because we were cooking together. I think it's because we just did a bunch of like activities. We're just like, ooh, let's do it.
All that knife work.
Yeah.
You both had like a mouse and a chef's hat. That was,
Yeah,
like,
that
controlling
the
your
mice
movements.
actually, the rats wanted to fuck each other and they just did it through us. And then the other time was in the Caribbean Ocean. We mentioned it the very last we did Rachel Fogletto, the last podcast. And my ex, whenever he wanted to have sex, like when people get sexy eyes can be like this. It can be like this. But his were like this.
Manic.
Really manic. Just like, it has to happen. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Well, like the idea too that like something's going on that he's like not used to the feeling of. He's like, but and then and I think the only other time I can remember was after we broke up because the Phillies were going to the World Series, which is the most Philly reason I've ever had
That's
sex.
very-
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, going out of business sex.
Oh, I love a closure post post breakup sex. I love that. I love to just, that's the one thing I could never get from my ex, Eric. May his soul rest in peace.
He died.
Yes, he died.
You got a dead ex?
Yes,
I'm so jealous.
Rachel.
I'm so jelly.
I have two.
Tragic.
You have 2 dead exes?
2 dead exes. Oh, maybe
sorry.
no. I'm sorry, 3.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Black Widow spiders.
You want to talk about curses?
It just reminds me of like the Amanda Taylor bit where she's just like, I love going to matinees because with all the widows, and if my ex died, they'd have to feel so bad for me. Feel so bad for me. Okay, anyway, so you're Eric.
So yeah, so after we broke up in like 2006, like I would see him out at the clubs, always on Latin night because he had a thing. And I would always just want to get that, like, yeah, we've been broken up for a while, but like, you know, we can get a little, you know,
like a one more time.
Yeah. And he would never do it. I admire his integrity.
I think every ex I've ever had, we've had like a closure fuck. And the thing is, my ex, my most recent, he is not a closure fuck guy. He's not that guy. He did not want to revisit the past. He was very much so like the door's closed. But like, I don't know. And honestly, probably for him was the best sex, but for me was the worst. He did not give a fuck that I was even there.
Oh.
It was pounded out.
So when you were in New York, Michael,
Yeah.
like and of course we've established that it was a very sexy time.
Very
What
sexy.
was your living situation at the time?
I had a roommate, my good friend Emily. We lived in Jersey City.
Okay.
And she was a great roommate, but she was in a relationship. She would often go. What's funny is like neither of us really brought people back to. We never like. Her boyfriend was never over. She would always go over to his place, and then I was always like just staying out wherever I landed.
Yeah,
you know,
nobody
wherever
would
that
take the path
last call.
back. Nobody would take the path train back to Jersey.
No one would take the path train back to Jersey City. That was a big one. But also, like, sometimes I hate bringing people to my house. I'm like, oh, get out of here! You're gonna mess everything up.
Bag.
So just out calls.
Yeah. I would bring the boyfriend experience to you.
Wait, were you ever the other person at somebody else's roommate situation?
Oh God, definitely. I definitely accidentally hooked up at different times with roommates who were brothers.
What? So hot.
So yeah, well, I just would be. I was a lot of fun. Like in those days, I drank a lot. I did a lot of cocaine, and I was fun. Like I was down to go out any night of the week.
Oh yeah,
because you can do that in New York. Like in New York, every night is Saturday night, and there's always people. Like you can go to the same bar every night, and there's just a different crowd. You can just work the same room, and it's just you and the staff. Like you become part of the staff there. Like it's that. Like it's like an opium den, but it's the East Village.
Wait, hold on. Have you ever been the other person in a roommate situation? Like
have I encountered other people's roommates?
Yeah.
In like
in a post way.
Not that I can recall, but you know what? I was in a blackout for so much of that. I want to return to these brothers.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I glossed over the brothers part.
So the first brother I met, I forget his name because this was like 15 years ago. There's been a lot of dicks since then. I can't keep track of them all. They're all like guy names. It's always like a Kyle or a Matt or
a Trevor.
And then you get a wild card like a River once in a while.
Ooh, yeah. River uncircumcised.
So yeah, you can go to West Philly and meet a person named Sock.
Trustafarian. You know, they came from like Old Money, Connecticut, but now they live in Williamsburg in a loft, and they look like an artist. Yeah. But
and it's just like, oh, what about your parents?
Oh, God fooled me again.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you have a Roman numeral in your name. It seems like you have a Roman numeral in your name. But so I was out at the Cock actually and met the first brother and like we had a nice time, went back to his house, and it was in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn, and like I don't know, like all those walk-ups look the same, you know. I've been like some of those apartments, just like, you know, you've been to one of them, you've been to all of them,
right? And
then like we hung out like once or twice after that, but like I never went back, and I knew that he lived with his brother. But I never met the brother, didn't know what he looked like. And this was also like pre-social, like this is, I want to say it was 2008, 7, 8. Okay. So no one really had social. Facebook, I think, was still for college students, and people were mostly off MySpace at that point. So it was like this gray area of people just didn't connect like that right away.
Yeah.
No one had smartphones. There was no way to just instantly do it. You'd have to like remember what their handle was, go home, log on, and then
like oh wait, hold on.
No, it's just
familiar.
like, I'm too busy getting fucked up and fucking.
Wait, when did you find out that they were brothers?
So I met his brother another night. I was
So
out
they're
at a
both gay.
different bar. Both gay. Both brothers are gay.
Okay.
So we hit it off. And we're like, he's like, do you want to get out of here? I'm like, yes. I'm like, I've already closed the check. We're going. I was ready to go for a while. We get back to his place, and I'm like, this place feels so familiar. But I couldn't quite pick it. And he's just like, I live with my brother. And again, like, that's not an uncommon thing. Because like a lot of, if you meet people who are from New York City or from Brooklyn or from like, a lot of people live at home or with family
Right.
for a long time.
Sure.
Because of just the by virtue of having an expensive real estate market.
Right.
So I didn't really think anything of it. And neither of them mentioned that their brother was gay. So I didn't really put it together. So then we're hanging out. I'm hanging out with the other brother and we had a nice time. And I'm still like, God, this whole place feels really familiar. I just really couldn't place it. So he's like, do you want to go to brunch? And I was like, yeah, let's go to brunch. So we went to some brunch place in Carroll Gardens. And he's like, oh, my brother is going to join us. Is that cool? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I think,
my God.
then he like he pulls out his phone and he's just like, oh, let me show you a picture. And I was like, I froze, and immediately he's like, you slept with my brother, didn't you?
Right away.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And we never spoke again.
Oh.
I mean, what do I even
Honestly,
do?
like,
I'd
that's
be
kind of the best case scenario for that situation. Because if you had to sit through that brunch being like, you've been inside of me.
well, then it becomes this game of chicken. Of who's gonna, and it's brothers.
It's like
these are
Spider-Man. That
brothers.
Spider-man meme.
Yeah, it was and there was definitely string. I didn't say
Oh
that.
my
And you never saw
God.
the other brother either again.
No, I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm like, I'm gonna leave before because he was like ironically, I guess, coming from some hookup situation from some other party.
If anything, he should have been cool. He should have been like,
So yeah, I mean, like I wasn't cool. Like I was just like, this is too much. I'm
That's
too
fair.
hungover for this, and I have to take 3 trains to get home. So I am gonna go.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I went out the back door.
Well, he came in the back.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
Well,
that.
both brothers had a different
They had different
style.
Wait, hold on. What were if you don't mind divulging the comparative style?
No, I don't even remember what their names are. So I think tact is out the window on this one. No, one was a top and the other one was a bottom.
Love that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess
Wow.
Yeah, suddenly became my blacking out at a bar and hooking up became this anthropological.
I mean, like
studies
you,
of
if
the-
anything, you're just like, listen, like,
Did you know that? Well, they were also very different. Like they weren't like it's not like it was like the same person
It was like
either.
the Parent Trap.
Yeah, it was definitely
just like right, they had to study. each
That's
other.
extra.
What were the difference in personalities?
Not a lot. I would say they were both
Okay.
like kind of chill, sort of like they were both.
Did they both smoke weed?
I don't know.
We never got to that point. Okay.
I don't think we got to that point. We just kind of went back. Like we were both like just drunk, and it was like
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
you're on the F train
Respect.
going back. Yeah, 45 minutes on the F train.
You know what? Believe it or and then 20 minutes on the F train a little later.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
my
never hooked up with a sibling. I try not to hook up with people my friends have hooked up with.
God. Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like to do that either.
Yeah, I think the friend one more for the. I think the sibling would be kind of hot. I just want to know. But I have with roommate situations. There's been like a dude that I was seeing, and like I was like, "You're cool, you're cool, you're cool." And then I met his best friend, who happened to be his roommate, and I was like, "Oh, I hate you. I don't know if I like you anymore." And it sucks because like, I ended up matching his roommate on Hinge, but not on purpose. He like
Did he match
messaged
you?
me. He messaged me and he was just like, "Hey, I know this is weird as hell, but can you give me some feedback on my Hinge profile?" Which felt very bullshitty.
Yeah, you can just do that on Reddit, and they will be very honest.
You could just like literally have one of your girlfriends, and he was just like, "Just tell me what you think." And I'm like, "Did you want me to say that I thought you were cute? Because it's not gonna happen." But I basically was just like, "Your first picture's ugly." And I just needed him to know that I was like, I'm gonna take you at your word and tell you what I really think.
Okay.
Called his bluff.
There
I
we go.
did, and then he avoided eye contact with me the next time I saw him in public.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's me mean
Interesting.
sometimes.
Yeah. When I was living with those, now that I think of those bellhop days, turn of the century, end of the 1900s, I actually those bellhops became a little bit bi-curious over the time that we spent in that trailer.
Fun.
Because it was a very heavy drinking time. We were like 20 and 21. We were making all this cash because we were all working as bellhops. Our rent was like very low because we were living in just a random trailer somewhere.
Right.
And so we'd have just these like epic. Ugh. I don't think it's an epic drinking party when you're in a trailer with two other bellhops. There's nothing epic about that. It's a little depressing.
It's epic when no one dies.
Yeah, you've got South Park playing on the DVD player
on loop, baby.
Loop.
Meth as far as the eye can see.
So yeah, definitely like we would get, drunk and high, and there was a gay couple in the house. And then there were the bellhops, and they would get they would get curious about like what we were doing. So they'd come and like drink with us. Sometimes they'd like come into our room, and like we had like little makeout sessions sometimes.
So you made out with your roommate?
I randomly made out with my straight roommate, straight quote unquote.
And
straight
who
roommates.
like was that like? Were they like, oh, I've always wanted to kiss a guy, or were you like, have you ever wondered what it was like to like? Who,
it was all
who's steering the ship?
It was the straight. It was the straight.
I dare ya.
Yeah, it was all dares. Yeah, you dare. It was like does that
I
thing
dare
where,
you
like,
to make out with me.
And it's that thing where like, do you dare me? That thing where you were inviting the dares, like, hey, do you dare me to do this? And I'm like,
just fucking do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I fucking dare you. It's fucking.
Well, because this is the thing. They don't want to do it in private with just you. Figure out they like it and then go further. It's like such a weird like. Do it. No, I didn't. No, it's there. It's done. No, don't worry about it.
Actually, so much of like my gayness before 2005 was on a dare. Was on dares.
You're just not a long dare right now. You're not actually. Alejandro's not gay. He's just proving a point.
Hosted by Mark Summers.
Oh my God!
Thank you for getting that old person reference.
Well, yeah, because I'm 31 now.
So, well, you're still a millennial.
I'm still a millennial.
Yeah,
I'm one of the cusp. Well, no, I'm 93, so I'm not necessarily on the cusp, but I have like some Gen Z traits that come out every once in a while. That like I almost feel like they betray myself.
Yeah. So wait, so since we've all been kind of like good about like. So is there an unspoken code that we're all living by as far as like living with someone that you sort of like, again, it's an unspoken agreement that you say, I am not going to bring some random person back to this house out of respect for this living arrangement?
I think so. For me, I was dating people most of the time. I had roommates. So I stopped having roommates basically after college. I had two roommate situations after college, and then after that it was done. I don't think I was respectful so much. I don't think I was respectful
dry spell.
so much as I was not getting laid.
I mean that can help.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when I had roommates, and I would not invite people over when other people were home. Like I think it would be at least like a little bit of that mixed with
just don't be loud.
Kind of like, you never know. You're just bringing some strange dude. I don't know. I mean, but usually it's also never that. Like usually I don't just like, I used to just like be hook up with whomever I would meet, but I would need to at least like hang out now a little bit or like have some kind of rapport with someone.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, for me, like anytime I did bring somebody home, it wasn't gonna be for a long time. It was for like an hour, maybe two if it was good, and then I would kick you the fuck out and be like, go home.
Yeah, I was never afraid of being like, well, I've got a lot to do today.
Yeah, oh my God. I think the biggest lie I ever told somebody was at a meeting in the morning. I was 20. I didn't have a fucking meeting in the morning. I literally bold-faced lied to this girl.
I am
just
girl
like,
bossing
sorry.
in the morning.
You know what I love?
Meeting.
And that's what I love to see in movies is when the two people sleep together and then the person who doesn't live there just gets to sleep in this random person's house.
Yeah. I
could never.
No, see, this is the thing. I think I give off girlfriend experience. So every time I've ever slept over at another dude's house, he's been like, make yourself at home. Go ahead, sleep. But then I have to, this is the thing, this is the roommate thing, is that then after I have to go downstairs to get water or whatever. And then the roommate's there and they're like, who are you? And I'm just like, hi, I'm Rachel. I'm with Benny or whoever the
like,
fuck.
You mean Brad? Like, yeah, Brad.
Yeah, Brad. I'm
Sorry.
with Brad. Sorry. I met him last night. He's really nice though. You might see more of me and then never see them again.
Have you ever like hooked up with somebody and then forgotten their name.
Yes.
And then you're like trying to scour their apartment for evidence.
Looking for mail.
I've done that. Yeah. I was like, okay, there's a pile of mail. And I'm like, oh.
And then there's like
a dozen
7 names in there.
It's like, it was really nice to meet you, current resident. Let's do this again.
I'd love to do this again at your residence at 1714 East Green Street. Oh, good to know. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's definitely been some apartments that I like walked out of and then did not know where I was. Like did not know what neighborhood, how to get home. It was too late to like go back and knock.
I've definitely done more of like I forget the person's name, but like I don't have a lot of one night stands, but like I remember the worst, God, was we fucked. We knew each other. We fucked, and it was a one and done situation because we fucked and it was great sex, which was surprising. Okay. But then we sat next to each other in complete silence for, I kid you not, 10 minutes. Just, and then eventually he just went, I'm gonna get up. And then it was bad.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'd encountered that's a little not similar at all, actually.
Okay.
Completely unrelated.
Completely.
It was like the first time. It was a one night stand that I had with another comedian, and we were both wasted, and we got back to my apartment, and we got naked, and I saw his dick, and it was beautiful. It was so gorgeous, and he saw me see it, and he looked at me, and he literally was like, "Do not catch feelings." he knew the dick was too nice.
Do not catch feelings.
Do not. And I was like,
God.
I'm like scrawling his name into my arm, like feelings. Got it.
Sorry. What makes a beautiful dick?
Well,
I need to know your notes because we'll compare. And we'll
I mean, it's subjective, right?
Okay.
I like them thick and veiny and pink.
Think veiny pink. Long, short? Do you have a length preference?
Not too long. Not too
Okay.
long, but I like a 7-incher. That's my
That's
comfort
still
zone.
pretty fucking.
Yeah, I'm like,
Did you
I
know?
don't like
Okay,
them
wait.
too big, just above average.
I know sides queen, but
Did you guys know this is a weird statistic, but apparently gay men on average tend to have a little bigger dicks than
really?
straight men.
Okay.
This is a statistic. Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
I
Okay,
guess,
what's your ideal penis?
oh geez. One that knows when to leave. We're done.
It's weird to describe like your ideal.
I mean, I would say that my ideal fits into 3 words: thick, hard, there. But
yeah,
I mean,
presence is a good one. I like,
Present.
I like the presence of a
present
dick.
penis.
Yeah.
I like one that's just like, okay.
I don't know. I've never really thought of it. It's like almost like one of those things where it's like I know what I don't like, but it's like hard to. No,
Okay.
Yeah, I like. You know what I like? I like ugly dicks.
Oh.
I love when a dick is like aggressively ugly, like crooked, fat at one end, it's skinny at the other end.
It has a retainer, glasses.
It's got a stutter.
Yeah.
I think like the favorite or like the ugliest dick I ever saw was unfortunately, okay, so like this is the most brutal put down I've ever gotten from a guy. We were in high school and I was a little sexual terrorist and I used to make out with him, and then after we'd make out I'd go, okay, I don't like you, I'm just horny.
Rachel.
I know, it was really mean. And then prom night happens, and we're hanging out after prom night, and he literally saves me. Like, my dress split in the back. I was wearing a thong because I didn't want to have any panty lines. So my ass is out, and I, like, had never been drunk or high before. I was both. He gives me his sports jacket. He ties it around my waist. We go to IHOP. We're at IHOP. I'm drunk. I'm just like, why have you never asked me out? And he literally just goes, because you're fickle, Rachel.
What in Gilmore Girls hell?
I was literally just like, it sobered me up. I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then we get in a car. We drive back to my house. It's 6 a.m. We get back to my place in Tacoma Park. My mom takes him out for pastries in the morning without me.
What in Gilmore Girls hell?
Lorelai, no.
He'll never listen to this, but he's the sweetest, kindest young man in the world who offered to buy or pay my mom money for gas when she would give him rides home. Tyler Jackson deserves the world.
Sing his
Oh wait, did he have an ugly dick though? I thought
Ugly dick. He did have an ugly dick.
I was like,
oh, sorry.
Thank you, Michael. No, I was like, wait. I'm like, wait, he did. He did have it.
He had an ugly dick though. That was what was.
Okay. I hope he doesn't find this. We do have to.
You're like, you hope he finds it. You hope he doesn't find it. Like,
well, let's figure out what makes it ugly first, and then we can
because it was really
learn how to
thick at the
coach him off
base.
the ledge.
It was short, thick at the base, tapered off towards the top.
Seen those.
Oh, yeah, one of
Like a
those.
cell phone tower or a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks because he was so cute, but ugly penis.
Too bad.
Really ugly. We never fucked, but I gave him head once.
Oh, okay. That was nice of you.
It was. It was really kind of me.
Nice guy.
Well,
ugly
we
dick. Maybe the ugliest dick.
I think there's like at least 4
We
or
just got
5.
demonetized.
Nice guy. Ugly dick. Ugly dick.
We're never getting monetized. We're
We're
talking
never
about coming
no.
episode
This
one.
is
It's not.
literally this is a passion
You can
project.
start
where
doing this on a
maybe,
Casper mattress.
Maybe Brooklyn
15%
Brewery
off.
will send us some money.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Eventually.
There you go. That's well done.
Or Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren's definitely going to be our
Yeah,
sponsor.
Ralph.
But yeah, and I'm combing my memory trying to think of like
Ugly
if-
penises?
no.
Yeah, I'm like, just God, it's like going through like the Library of Congress for me. Like, all the dicks I've ever seen. It's like,
No, I've been blessed. I've been lucky. Most of them have been very nice.
Most of the
Or I like most of them. I like most of the dicks that I've seen.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I ever like snuck a guy in or like had a guy over while I with Michael. Like, and I only remember the one guy, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, was this dude that we were drunk. I met him at the venture. I brought him back to the house, and we both thought it would be a good idea to say that we loved each other during the hookup.
oh, I remember you telling me that. Because we also talked a lot
Oh, yeah,
about
for
we
sure.
would like get high and just
Oh
kiki.
my god!
Ooh.
It was
like-
really good. It was a really great roommate situation.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
the roommate situation where you can just get high together and like
Yeah.
be together. Because I feel like that's actually a lot rarer than we give it credit for.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
they're like beautiful little accidental situations. Like Lou and I used to be able to drink white wine and dance together.
Oh,
And that was a really good one.
that's cute.
And then Marissa and I used to be able to smoke together.
I love that.
Yeah. But like every other roommate, like it was just sort of like we did our own thing.
Mhm.
So you guys used to get stoned together a lot?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Michael would get home from work.
Well, because we were both
and
doing
we'd light
stand up and
yeah.
we had a lot of the same friends. So it was always just like people would come over. Like, we'd go and do a mic and then people would come over and then we would like hang out and get stoned and like talk about the night and, you know, just
Yeah.
bullshit a while.
And do that thing where you're just like, oh, we're not gossiping, but
But we are.
but we totally
Exactly.
are. Oh
We're
man,
gonna
yeah.
Get the tea on. That was what it mostly was.
Ah. But okay, so I think like
Yeah, and then Michael would bring all these like cute hipsters over to watch RuPaul's Drag Race sometimes.
you
What a
do
treat.
clean up. Look at your fucking face.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I was just like, I'm tired of the mustache.
He
I
did. He always like once a week there would be this little parade of like
Hot
of
guys.
mustaches.
Hot mustache.
And ironic t-shirts as far as I could see. Could just smell the highlight.
I
At
miss
least
the
you know
early
you're tired.
2010s.
Oh God, I know. The fashion is cyclical, and every 20 years things start coming back. So like, give it 10 more years, we're gonna break out the skinny jeans again, the vests, the ironic t-shirts.
Everyone's gonna be flat ironing their hair again.
I mean,
Oh no, I never. I curl it every fucking day.
like it's tough now that straight men are wearing mustaches. It's hard for me. It's literally hard for me.
My culture's not your costume.
Yeah, come on. You had no right to turn me on like that. Come on.
Oh my God. Okay, what's the worst you've ever been turned on by someone only to find out that they're straight?
Oh, just fucking anytime I go to a fucking comedy open mic because I'm a chuckle fucker. I am a disgusting. I would have. I've realized that I would have quit comedy long ago because I have not made it. And I was like, why haven't I quit? And I realized I want to fuck more comedians. I am a chuckle fucker.
I'm gonna guarantee you it's
lust.
not worth it.
I know. I've been through it. I've been down that road.
Seems like a
It's
lot
happened.
of work. Not like with comedians specifically, with straight
I-
guys. I mean, just not
no.
like that.
Oh,
straight
No,
men
with
are a lot of work,
comedians
but like
specifically.
winning them, I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's-
the bisexual the
Oh,
crisis,
like, keep
the
it.
crisis of like, oh, I don't know what this means, and I'm like, I don't care what this means.
good
for
luck.
you.
Get a bottle
Yeah,
of
it's
tequila
okay.
and
You
figure
should
it out. Like the
still
rest of us, I
continue
don't know
to
what to tell
try.
you.
You don't know until you've been inside of me.
Yeah, like I'm not on Tinder to mentor you through the LGBTQIA steps of whatever the fuck.
Accepted. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Just fuck me, and then you will
And
know. Yeah, and fuck me and leave.
But you know that would be a great name for a book that we should all write
Fuck
together.
me and leave.
Fuck me and leave.
The LGBTQIA steps of whatever the fuck. But you know what? Fuck Me and Leave is a little snappy.
I think is a great. It's a book of
that's the one we're
essays
gonna make. We're gonna go to Peabody.
where we all talk about the horrible one night stands we've had in our lives.
Yeah, that's gonna be an anthology.
See, this is the thing. I don't have one night stands. I hook up with people that I know once, and then I have to see them for the rest of my life.
Well, that's gay. That's gay life, right?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
that's definitely like.
That's what I also imagine it'd be like to start having sex with
This is
comedians.
why-
It's just like now it's like, oh god, like no,
Just don't. Just don't. It's
right,
fun for the time being.
Speaking of
Speaking of fun for the time
comedians
being.
that we're going to continue to see,
yeah.
Michael Kelly, where can people find you online?
Yeah, where can I find you?
You can follow me at on Instagram, Michael K. Sure, why not? And but really, I'm in. You should follow Awful Wrestling, and that is exactly that on Instagram. Awful Wrestling. We've got an amazing show coming up, WrestleMania weekend at Philomoka.
Cool.
On Friday, April the 5th.
Friday, April 5th.
Oh yeah, this will come out before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be out before that.
This will be out before that. Oh, good. And then in a few months again, we'll be.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Kelly, we're dating.
We're dating now.
Oh yay!
You have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Oh my god. First for everything.
It's just how I pictured it in the 90s.
You know what is an amazing idea, Rachel?
What's an amazing idea?
Liking and subscribing
Oh my god, you're very, very right.
to us.
To us at we.r.datingpod on Instagram, and you can find us under that on YouTube as well.
That's right. That's we.r.datingpod, and that's the letter R.
Yeah, that was my bad.
You'll figure it out.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy, Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by two comedians who are dads, and you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast, and
Anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.